Feyenoord, a giant of Dutch football and even European football to an extent, as Feyenoord have actually won the UCL back in 1970. Along with this, they've also won 2 Europa League titles in 1973 and 2002, along with a trophy cabinet bursting with domestic trophies. It's often overlooked how big of a club Feyenoord actually are. Performances in Europe in recent seasons haven't been up to standards for such a big club, despite making the Conference League final in 2021. But clubs like Feyenoord are much bigger than third-tier European competition, so that is where we come in, as today we are becoming the new manager of Feyenoord, and the goal is simple: win them a UCL trophy in what will be our first ever rebuild on the channel in the Eredivisie. So the contract is signed, there's a new coach in town at Feyenoord, me and you of course, and we are fresh off the back of a second place finish in the Eredivisie. As you can see, we've got 20 points to make up on PSV, who won the league convincingly and scored 101 goals along the way. They are going to be very, very hard to catch. We have got Champions League qualification for our first full season, whereas teams like Ajax, wow, what has happened there? 14 draws. And we were massively helped by the fact we had the league's top scorer, Ayase Ueda, who got 25 goals in 31 appearances. He's going to be a massive player for us, especially in the early seasons. And we do load into quite a decent team on paper. We will be making some changes, and thankfully Feyenoord actually have some decent players who you can start to build the team around from season 1. Ayase Ueda, who we've already discussed. Also got Luciano Valente, who's 22-year-old and 77 rated, looks like a fantastic player. Sem Steen is another player who's absolutely amazing, loads of playstyles and 77 rated. And probably the best young right back in FC26, Javario Reed, 19-year-old, 76 rated, another player we can definitely build the team around. But straight off the back, we run into a massive issue. Just look at how many players are currently on the books at Feyenoord. That's well too many. We're going to have a bit of a clear out, and we're going to be switching the formation up ever so slightly. We're going to switch to a 4-3-3 attack, which I think gets the best out of our current bunch of players, gets more young players in the team who we can get growing very quickly. We do have some decent options off the bench, but we are quite a way away from seeing a competitive side in Champions League football. Now, we instantly start off with 29 million euros. However, because we're starting at the end of a season and the transfer window isn't currently open, we're not going to be allowed to spend this money. We'll have to sim to a fresh new season. Now, one thing that Feyenoord do have at their club are quite a few Asian players, like Tsuyoshi Watanabe, Hwang In-byong, Ayase Ueda, just to name a few. We want to buy into this, so we will be looking to bring a few Asian players to the club in the first transfer window, and we have got some really decent Asian players shortlisted in our transfer hub, and we're going with a possession-based approach in this rebuild. I think we've got a really good squad of technical players at this level, should be able to play some really attractive football. Now, before we progress into the new season, we are losing a few players: Brana, Raheem Sterling, Malcolm Yang and Sven Bender. And I think in our first full season as Feyenoord boss, expect to see a lot of players leave the club. We're now in our first full season as Feyenoord boss, and we've got 41 million euros. This is a very good transfer budget. Now, we have got quite a few players away on international duty, which is perfectly fine. Where do I want to improve this team with our money? Well, first things first, we're trimming this squad down. So many players at the club who don't need to be here. But I think we're going to look for players in 2 key positions, left wing and centre back. I think 41 million euros should be more than enough to make 2 very good signings. And our first signing as Feyenoord boss has been completed, and I did say we were going for Asian players in the first transfer window, as Kito Nakamura becomes the first signing of the Feyenoord rebuild, who joins for 17 million euros from Stade Rennais. That's a left midfielder required, no time to sign a new centre-back. And for our second signing of the transfer window, we have made a very, very impressive signing who massively improves our team, as we complete the signing of Japanese superstar Hiroki Aito from Bayern Munich. The 80 rated centre-back has cost us 23 million euros. And I have to admit, boys, I think the signings of Nakamura and Aito make us a much better side, especially adding Aito to the left side of our defence. And I definitely think these 2 new signings make us a better team on paper. We are taking a strong team into season number 1. And when it comes to youth scouting for our first season, we are going to be scouting Holland for goalkeepers, and then after this season we'll get to using your scouting recommendations. If there's any nation you want to see me scout in FC26, be sure to put it in the comment section down below. And if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hype the video. Really does help me out. Always really appreciative of any support we get on the channel. And I mean, we said there was going to be a lot of outgoings in this transfer window. We're looking at least 15 players leaving the club. I'll give you a little chance to just go through right now. Quite a few gone out on loan, including some good youngsters like Shaquille Van Persie. Sold some rotation players. As you can see, a lot of the players who have left have gone on loan. And we have also loaned out our first youth academy player of the rebuild. Charlie Morgan's a 7'2", 16-year-old goalkeeper. That's definitely broke some kind of Guinness World Record. Given the fact we've we've bolstered Feyenoord with two incredible Japanese talents. I wonder how the first season's going to go. So with season 1 now completed and looking at our starting 11, we've seen a lot of player growth in every single position. Even our bench has shown significant growth. Does this mean we have had a successful season? Well, if we look to the stats, Ayase Ueda, 36 goals and 5 assists in season number 1. This guy is an absolute beast at this level. I'd go as far to say the best player in Holland at the minute. Sem Steen having a good season as well, 23 goals and 13 goals for Haj Musa. We were very much carried by our Japanese sensation Ayase Ueda, and his goals would carry us to a second place finish, missing out on the Eredivisie title by 2 goal difference to PSV. They are once again the champions of Holland. But let's not discredit our good work. We made up a massive points gap of 19 points in just one season, and we would win a trophy in season 1. The Dutch Cup is coming to Feyenoord. We beat Ajax 2-1 in the final. I would call season 1 a massive success. However, the Champions League would not be a success. A 26th place finish, seeing us leave the competition in the league phase with just 1 win. Just 2 losses though, however. 5 draws would ultimately be our downfall, where Man City will go on to take on Real Madrid in the Champions League final. As we arrive in season number 2, we're given a very similar transfer budget to season number 1, 43 million euros, but as we've seen, we can bring in good talented players with this kind of money. Now, we have seen a lot of growth in our team, and the starting 11 is starting to look very strong. However, 2 players have been left behind by the rest of the starting 11. That's Wellenrufer, our goalkeeper, and Watanabe, our centre-back. By order of natural selection, a new goalkeeper and centre-back will be required going forward, because my goal for this season is to get through the Champions League phase, of which we will have to play a qualifier where we're taking on Braga. So our first signing of season number 2 is completed. It's a new first choice goalkeeper who walks through the door. Very experienced keeper who's at a very good age. As we complete the signing of Leo Roman from Real Mallorca for 23.5 million, and he signs a 5-year contract. This is a big signing for the club, as he's a massive upgrade in the goalkeeper position. And our second signing of season number 2 has been acquired, a young centre-back who was languishing in the reserves at AC Milan. As we've completed the signing of Corne de Winter from AC Milan, who joins the club for 24 million euros. And once again, we have sold quite a few players in this transfer window. Some players like St. Just, Wellenrufer, Ezekiel, all sold. A few players have gone out on loan as well. As always, just pause the video if you want to see who's left the club. We have loaned out a very promising young Dutch goalkeeper, not quite 7'2" though. And I did say at the start of the video I wanted to trim the squad down, and that is something we have definitely managed to do, as the team is now starting to look very strong on paper. Now let's get some scouting done in nations that you guys have recommended. So for this season, we're going to use this comment. We're going to be scouting in Sweden. I'm going to be looking for midfielders and defenders while we're over in Sweden. Hopefully we actually find someone we're adding to the squad. So with 2 new signings bolstering our defensive options, and we give a better account of ourselves in the Champions League. We've got a qualifier with Braga to come, but we're going to see if we did qualify for the league phase at the end of the season. So we've arrived at the end of the second season, and I can't quite believe what I'm looking at. We've once again missed out on the Eredivisie League title on goal difference, this time by just 3 goals to Ajax, who were nowhere to be seen last season. That's 2 seasons as manager. That's 2 league titles missed out on goal difference. On the plus side, we have qualified for the Champions League again in season 3. And we do not retain our Dutch Cup crown. We lose in the semi-finals to Go Ahead Eagles. Hopefully we perform well in the Champions League. We actually reached a playoff round and lose narrowly to Porto, who beat us 3-2 on aggregate. We just got through the league phase, finishing 20th, but we did win 3 games. Performance-wise, we have been a bit better this season. On the plus side, we've seen some insane growth from our team, with only 2 players below 80 rated in the starting 11, and they are 2 players who could lose their position in the team in season number 3, because from this point on we're probably going to be signing players who are 80 rated and above, and they're going to cost a pretty penny. Now, we smashed the goals in this season, and Sem Steen was our best player this season, 30 goals and 13 assists. Ueda once again though, loads of goals scored, 28 and 4 for him, and Nakamura had a very good season as well, 15 goals, 8 assists. We're definitely performing on the pitch, we're just not getting that luck go our way when we need it. But we've now arrived in season number 3. Safe to say the board aren't really happy with us. Our manager ratings are really poor. We do get 54 million euros to try and improve our outcomes, and I think we're going to focus on signing a new central midfielder, as Targaline has got 49 pace. We need some legs in midfield badly. And boys, we have only gone and made by far our most exciting and expensive signing of the rebuild so far. We've signed Ezekiel Banzuzi from RB Leipzig, and we have paid 41 million euros to get this deal done. We're probably looking at one of the most exciting young central midfielders in Dutch football, and he is now a Feyenoord player. His stats are absolutely excellent. But with only 10 million euros remaining in the bank, unless we make a major sale in this transfer window, it looks as though Anis Hadjimusa will be keeping his spot in the starting 11. And we are losing 2 players. Smal and Thomas Phelan are leaving the club. We didn't want to renew their contracts, and we do actually have quite a few first team players needing new contracts, especially the likes of Javario Reed. Do not want to be losing that guy on a free. So we have sorted the contracts out for every player who we wanted to keep at the club. We'll now play a waiting game to see if any bids come in for our players, see if we sell anyone who needs replacing, because we don't have that much money left in the bank. So back to youth scouting, back to using your recommendations, and for this season we're going with this comment. We are going to be scouting in Romania. Now last season we looked for defenders, we didn't really find too many. We're going to be looking for attackers while we're in Romania. So this has been our quietest transfer window to date, believe it or not, boys. We have sold Goncalo Borges and Anel Ahmedhodzic for about £10 million combined. We have loaned out Charlie Morgans again, who's now 65 rated. Wanted to see a little bit more growth from him, if I'm honest. We do expect a few more players to leave the club on loans, like Daniel Bosch, for example. We'll do that off camera though, I don't really want to bore you. Kicking off the season with another Champions League qualifier. This time we've got a difficult tie against Benfica, but once again you'll have to wait till the end of the season to see how we've got on in the Champions League. So we have arrived at the end of season number 3. This is a very strong Feyenoord team on paper. Some players in this team who are now borderline world class. Loads of 85 rated players, which we do like to see. And we have got some decent players throughout the squad to make up the numbers. I want to see some improvement this season. I want to see some trophies. And if the stats are anything to go by, I think it's likely with 1-1. Sem Stein, again, absolutely amazing with 35 goals and 10 assists. Quickly becoming a good shout for the Hall of Famer for this rebuild. Ueda, Nakamura and Banzuzi are all excellent too. I think if the stats are anything to go by, 18 clean sheets as well. Surely we've done really well this season. Well, we have finally won the Eredivisie, finishing top of the league. 7 clear of Ajax in 2nd place, and after a couple of seasons of heartbreak, missing out on goal difference, Feyenoord are the champions of Holland, and we will not have to play a Champions League qualifier next season. We don't win the Dutch Cup. PSV beat us in the semi-finals, and they would go on to lift the trophy. And I'm just a little bit confused at the minute, boys, because I'm looking through the Champions League table and I can't see us, which says to me we lost our Champions League qualifier, and the evidence is here as Benfica are in 14th place. That means we dropped into the Europa League and we'd actually make the final, but we lost to Chelsea on penalties. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I'll tell you what though, winning the Eredivisie and getting to the Europa League final, that's a very solid season for Feyenoord. But we've now arrived in season 4, and the goal for this season has to be better performance in the Champions League, because we have been very, very poor in that competition. 62 million euros sits in our bank account. This is our biggest budget today, and last season we did identify we needed a new right winger, but we didn't have enough money in the bank to bring one in. We will have in this transfer window. We're going to sign a right winger, see how much money we have left available after that, and I may look to bring a centre back in to replace Aitor, who's now 30 years old and will not get much better. All really depends how much we spend on a new right winger. So a right winger was top priority for season number 4, and a right winger we have got on a cut price deal. Johan Bakayoko's contract was expiring, so we've managed to sign him for just 40 million euros. He's joining us from RB Leipzig. For 40 million euros, lads, this is an incredible signing. As we can see, a huge upgrade in the right wing position. We do still have 19 million euros. If we could make a sale or two, there's definitely a chance of us bringing a new centre back in as well. And do you know what, boys? Considering Hadjimusa is no longer our first choice right winger, club's bidding nearly 45 million euros for him. I'm going to accept these offers, lads. We're going to be able to reinvest this money back into the squad, bring in a new first choice centre back, and improve our bench with the remaining funds. Now, we have sold quite a few players so far in this transfer window, the main one being Anis Hadjimusa, who has gone to Atletico. Iman Slitty has left the club as well. A couple of youngsters go out. Daniel Borsch is on yet another loan. Not really happy with the growth of our two young goalkeepers so far. As we can see, neither have actually cracked 70 rated. Now we've got 68 million euros in the bank. We're going to look for a new first choice centre back to bolster our defence, and we're going to spend the rest of our money improving the weak points on our bench. Now we have made our second and final signing of season number 4. We've bought a new centre back who I'm very happy with, but we have spent quite a lot of money to get this deal done, as we've completed the signing of Valentin Gomez from Freiburg for 45 million euros, rounding off the transfer window. So as we reach the end of season number 4, we've achieved our best season to date. We've won the league again, this time only losing one game out of 34 and scoring 95 goals, retaining our Eredivisie crown and once again gaining automatic qualification to the Champions League phase. But we would make the Dutch Cup final and we would lose to AZ Alkmaar. Since winning this tournament in season 1, we've had absolutely no luck going forward. Now this season we were in fact in the Champions League, and as we can see, we did make the quarterfinals and we lost to Man City, who beat us 5-2 over 2 legs. Absolutely no shame in that. We actually finished 3rd in the league phase as well, which is a very good sign. Final will be played between the side that beat us, Man City, and their Premier League rivals Arsenal. And looking at our starting 11, very positive signs. This team is absolutely amazing on paper. Loads of high 80 rated players, which we love to see, with players like Stain, Reed, Ueda, Banzuzi, not far from 90 rated. I actually think the starting 11 is good enough to stay the same. We definitely need to start adding some players to our bench. Maybe a new backup striker, backup right winger, and backup fullback would help us out. I think we're going to get our biggest budget today in season number 5, which should hopefully help us do this. Now, one player is leaving the club at the end of the season. Hwang In-beom is leaving the club, and it looks like players like Tagaline, Watanabe and Latomba don't want to sign new contracts. We may have to sell these 3 players and bring in replacements in season number 5, so we could actually be reshaping our entire bench. Now, we banged in the goals this season, and looking at our stats, 3 players got above 20 goals, with Stain once again staking his claim to be the Hall of Famer for this rebuild. The usual suspects all excellent again, and Volante turning up with 17 assists. That's massive as well. So we have now arrived in season number 5. What budget are we working with? 77 million euros. This is a fantastic transfer budget. And given the fact 3 players don't want new contracts who are all on our bench, it looks like we're going to have a complete overhaul of our backup options going into the new season. And how good is this to see, by the way? Every single player in our starting 11 is away at an international competition. Now, it's taken 5 seasons, but we've finally made a free agent signing. A new right winger is joining the club. As experienced international forward Dodi Lukebakio is joining us on a 2-year contract. I think he'll be a decent signing, especially on a free. And our second signing of season number 5 has been completed. A new backup centre-back is in, as we've completed the signing of Ramon Hendricks from Stuttgart for 13 million euros. A very good rotation option, bringing some good experience to the club. Always helps to sign a Dutch player as well. So we've brought in a backup right winger, a backup centre-back. Now it's time to bring a backup right back to the club, who we may have actually used in our previous rebuild, as we've completed the signing of reliable fullback Milan Van Ewijk from Coventry City for 19 million euros. And the rotation players keep on coming in. A new central midfielder has been signed from the Greek Super League, as talented Italian central midfielder Alessandro Bianco joins us for 24 million. So that's 4 players who'll come in and bolster our bench. And what's one thing you notice about all these players, boys? Every single player is massively experienced, and I think it's safe to say we have now got a very strong bench heading into season number 5. So there has also been a few outgoings as well. Watanabe has gone to West Ham. Targaline has gone to Benfica for 25 million. Shame to see him go, because he is actually a really talented player, and I'm definitely butchering his name. Now, Calvin Stengs did want to go out on loan. We have agreed and set him out on loan to Fiorentina, and I'm going to be cheeky and recall him straight away. So we've now arrived at the end of the season, and would you look at that? We are in the Champions League final. We will be taking on Borussia Dortmund. Looks like adding some depth to our bench definitely paid off in the end. In the league phase, we actually topped the league phase. 7 wins from 8 games, 1 draw, no defeats. Borussia Dortmund all the way down in 10th. In the round of 16, we'd get Galatasaray, who we beat 5-2 on aggregate. We'd then beat FC Midtjylland, I think that's how you pronounce that team's name, 4-1 over 2 legs. Very favourable draw there so far. But then we would get PSG in the semi-finals. The difficulty definitely ramping up there. We win 2-0 over 2 legs. Dortmund beat Inter, and we take on Dortmund in the final. But we do make it 3 consecutive Eredivisie trophies. We've won the league again, only losing 1 game all season, finishing 7 clear of PSV in 2nd place. And we're going to have the chance to finish the rebuild on a treble as we beat PSV 2-1 in the Dutch Cup final. Trophies are really starting to rack up for this rebuild now, and we're genuinely taking an incredible team into the Champions League final, boasting 3 90-rated players in Reed, Banzuzi and Stein. Our front 3 looking absolutely deadly. Really looking forward to using players like Nakamura and Ueda, who I've not used before. I'm really intrigued to see what kind of squad Dortmund are rocking with. And in terms of stats, once again, Sem Stein, absolutely amazing. He is the Hall of Famer for this rebuild. Has been unbelievable for the past 3 seasons. As we can see, multiple players have got double figures for goals, with Bakayoko and Ueda having excellent seasons as well. Just a big shout out to our goalkeeper, who went on to keep 23 clean sheets. Now let's smash Borussia Dortmund and bring the Champions League to Feyenoord. So we know we've got a really strong team. Borussia Dortmund's team's looking decent as well, but it has to be said, ours is miles better on paper. We've got to be winning this one, boys, surely. And the game is taking place at Schalke's stadium, Borussia Dortmund's biggest rivals. Imagine if we could beat them in the biggest rival stadium. Honestly, it feels like we're really solid on the ball, especially with that tiki-taka system. Ball to Javario Reed. Heavy touch, but it's all right. Nope. Oh, brilliant save by Cabell. Could have been 1-0 there. Fancy as well, whipped in. Oh, keeper's going to catch it. Good start to this game, lads. We've got a really good pace about us. We're moving the ball around really nicely. That's a really nice ball by Henning when you get it to Jesse Derry. Oh, chance. Oh, what was that? Have they just tried to cross it in? That was absolutely shocking from Dortmund. That really should have been 1-0. Cut back. Chip it in. Fred for Banzuzi straight at the goalkeeper. That should be 1-0. Good tackle. Sem Stein, who's just dictating the game from midfield. Banzuzi from distance. Could have a go. As a shot straight at Cabell. That's going to be half time. We've been by far the better team. 1 defensive mix-up almost allowed Dortmund to score. Really, lads, we should be 1 or 2-0 up. Hopefully we can find the all-important opening goal in the second half, of which Borussia Dortmund will get us on the way. Come on, the boys. Let's get this game won. This could be a chance, this. Cross. Ueda. Oh, my God. It's straight at the keeper again. Oh, keeper gonna get there. Wow, imagine if that would have got through. Looks like Dortmund are starting to pressure us more in our own half, so we've got to be a bit careful in possession. We don't want to be giving the ball away in our own half. Lancey, that's nice. And Stein could be in. He's onside. Our star man, our Hall of Famer. 1-0 to Feyenoord. He was never gonna miss. And for 68 minutes, we've been by far the better team. We definitely deserve to be in the lead. Henning. Shot from Henning. Big save by Leo Roman. We need to get there first. Brilliant from Javario Reed. Use that pace to get away or don't. No, Bayer. Oh my God. Straight at Roman. 10 on the clock. Gott's bringing it forward for Borussia Dortmund. He's so quick. And there's the full-time whistle, lads. We have beaten Borussia Dortmund. Feyenoord are the champions of Europe. Not one of the classic finals played on this channel, but a 1-0 win gives us the Champions League trophy. And this is what we love to see. Our captain, our Hall of Famer, our goal scorer, Sem Stein, lifts the Champions League trophy, and Feyenoord are the champions of Europe. That's another rebuild successfully boxed off. I'll see you in the next one when we rebuild one of the biggest clubs in world football.